Hey everyone, this is Paul Gale from paulgalenetwork.com, and thank you for joining me today for video game news. It is October 19th, 2020, and these are the top stories of the day. To kick things off, since it is October 19th, that means that Cyberpunk 2077 officially is 1 month away. Since it comes out November 19th, next month. We've known about this for a while, but I thought I'd give, one last update, unless if CD Projekt Red gives us one final trailer, but I thought I'd talk about this game at least one more time before launch because it's been a long time in coming, Not many games we learn about several years before they see a release and consistently get updates, whether it's throughout, various E3s, on Twitter, different YouTube presentations, etc. This thing has been in development for a while. CD Projekt Red obviously did a great job with The Witcher 3 a few years ago, and it won many awards. I think if this game does as well as it did critically, then we're going to see a lot of sales continue into 2021. This is a title that will probably get future support, continue to get ported to new machines down the road. We could be looking at the next real big hit in the industry. I'm excited. It's fun to speculate just how well it could potentially sell. Will it be a 30 million seller across the board? I'm curious, what platform did you get it for? Maybe you didn't. Maybe this is just not your game, but if you like RPGs, if you like Cyberpunk, kind of art style, aesthetic, that whole genre, even if you like first-person shooters, this game could appeal to you. It's not a first-person shooter per se, but it will have elements of the genre. So I think the game will appeal to a good amount of people. Maybe you're into Grand Theft Auto 5 and you're seeing some of those type of traits, or the GTA series as a whole, and this game might be your jam in that case. I happen to pre-order the Xbox One version since I have an Xbox Series X. Well, I should say I have an Xbox One X and a PlayStation 4 and a competent PC, but I do enjoy playing on the couch. I like playing on the big screen TV over my monitor. So the Xbox One X is the most powerful current gen console that I have. Although I did also pre-order an Xbox Series X and a PlayStation 5, so I have options when it comes to where I want to play it on. But I picked the Xbox brand of consoles because it seems to overall be the most fluid in transition from current gen into next gen with backwards compatibility. We did learn previously that this game will have updates, and they will be free updates to take advantage of the next gen hardware on both PS5 and Xbox Series X. So I guess I could have really gone with either one, but I chose the Xbox One because for now at least on the One X it will be more powerful. Then again, come to think of it, on the flip side, when this game comes out, it's almost serving as a launch title for PS5 or Xbox Series X. So chances are this disc will never actually enter my old Xbox One X, but we'll see. And yes, I decided to go with the disc version of this game. Since you have to eat up that precious hard drive space or that SSD space on, PS5, 4, and the Xbox One and the Series X and S. It doesn't really matter if you buy a disc or a download, but I happen to go with Best Buy in this case for this title, and it has that really nice looking steelbook case, so I couldn't say no to that. Plus it was only $50, so it was $10 less to pre-order it from Best Buy for me, and I'm getting a cool steelbook case, so that's why I went physical. And it will probably be a console. It will probably be a game that's in my console for a long time, especially since the majority of other Xbox games that I play will be digital ones, such as with the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, and that ability to swap between is really attractive. So, yeah, enough talk. Not really a news update, other than the fact that it's just 1 month away, and I kind of wanted to talk a little more about it. So, are you getting the game? What system are you getting it for? Sound off in the comments. I'm interested to hear. Next up in video game news, this is an actual new trailer. It's a little look at Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity. We'll check it out together, okay? As you can see here, it's just under a minute long, so short trailer. But it's pretty cool. I watched it earlier today and I liked it. speaking of games that come out in a month, as of tomorrow, this game will be officially 1 month away. I'm getting a lot of voice acting, including Hetsu back there. Looks like a fun game, right? Now there's something really cool that I wanted to rewind just a smidge. That's the end of the trailer, but let me see if I could grab a nice frame of it. Look at that! Look at Daruk, man! Daruk is hanging on this big hang glider. Of course, you've got Rivali over here and Link who jumped off. And I believe this is Impa. But look at Daruk. That's cool. That's just a fun sight. You know, I've said previously on this channel that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, that mythos behind that game, would have made for such a good backstory of what happened 100 years ago and be told by an anime, you know? A weekly morning cartoon kind of thing. Or, as the current trend is currently going on, just drop a whole series on Netflix and then, you know, call it a 12-episode season and stuff like that. But regardless, I thought, you know, 22-minute long episodic anime style tellings of what happened in Breath of the Wild 100 years ago would be so cool, because I loved these characters. Rivali, Urbosa, Mipha, Daruk. I thought they were so cool, and just seeing the way they interacted with Link and Princess Zelda back in the day, I wanted to know more. And now we get to, but in a game, in Age of Calamity. So I'm so excited for this one. You know, ironically, this and Cyberpunk 2077 are my top 2 picks for this holiday season. I'm looking forward to them more than anything else, and this one in particular. Age of Calamity comes out on November 20th, which is also my son's 6th birthday. So that's also pretty cool. Nice bonus. So I thought I'd share that video. Let me know what you thought of it. Were you happy to see Daruk hand gliding off into the distance? Because I was. And did you pre-order this game? Because if you like Zelda, if you liked Breath of the Wild, you probably should. And finally today for video game news, Final Fantasy IX. Yes, it has been released previously on Nintendo Switch, but now it's getting a physical cartridge release and is available for pre-order for $38 on PlayAsia.com. This release will be supported in French, Italian, German, Spanish languages, in addition to English, of course. Now, yeah, you're not looking at that incorrectly. That is the box art. It's sideways. It's kind of to pay tribute to the original box art when this game released on PlayStation. Not to shrink the characters down, because if they did go this way, it would be a very plain white box with a very simple horizontal image going like this and be plain up top and below. So they went like this. So it's cool. It's different. A lot of people are not digging it, but hey, you know what? Most people probably keep their games like this or like this and not face to face to face to face, you know, so you're probably not even going to look at the box art most of the time. And if you do, if you want to tilt it sideways, pop open the box and have it kind of sitting like a triangle. You'll be able to enjoy this piece of art, chill it next to your Nintendo Switch, maybe put the Switch in tabletop mode, kick the kickstand back and put this next to it, and play with your Joy-Cons and experience Final Fantasy IX like that. You know, I don't know. You could have something fun. But it's pretty cool. I already have Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 on Nintendo Switch digitally, so I won't be picking this up again, but it is kind of neat, especially when you think of the irony that, you know, these games came out during a time in which Nintendo 64 was on cartridge-based medium, and PlayStation, you know, not introduced, but was a CD-based console. So these games were able to fit more easily on those discs than on a cartridge. So now to see them come full circle back on a cartridge on Nintendo Switch, from that perspective, it almost makes me want to buy it again because, out of the principle of the matter. Hey, it does fit in on cartridge. What are you talking about? But that also raises another point. I think that they could have found a way. Of course, it was a different world back then, and it wouldn't happen. There was some bad blood between Squaresoft, previously known as Squaresoft before Square and Enix merged together to form Square Enix. But there was a little bit of bad blood when Squaresoft, jumped shipped to develop these Final Fantasy games on PlayStation instead of Nintendo platforms, which was the previous exclusive console where they made them for. But if you saw Resident Evil 2 back in the day, a multi-disc game that released on PlayStation that now got crammed onto a very competent, awesome-looking Nintendo 64 cartridge, then I think 789 could have found a way how to be ported over. But like I said, different world, it wouldn't have happened, but could have. That does it for video game news today. Not a whole lot to talk about, but some fun topics. So I had a good time discussing Cyberpunk 2077, watching and talking about the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity trailer with you, and giving a little bit of history on Final Fantasy IX / talking about this different laid out box art. Let me know what you think of the box art. And are you going to get this game, or do you already have it, or just not your jam? Well, thanks for watching. Hope you all have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time for some more video game news. Take it easy. Bye.